Hi guys, and welcome to my podcast, The Cyclist Next Door. If you are enjoying these episodes, why not like, subscribe or share with a loved one, a fellow cyclist or somebody who might be interested. The time has come for today's episode. So grab your cup of tea, settle into your zone 2 momentum. Let's go. Rolling. So today I am in Derby with Olivia.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Hey, oh my gosh. Okay, cool. So what are we doing today? I'm here in Derby and we're going to roll out. So
Yeah.
we're here at the station.
We're going to go for a little bike ride for an hour and a half.
Right.
A little cafe stop and enjoy the bank holiday weekend. Should be good.
Lovely. Right. So let's roll out.
That's right.
Tell me about how you sort of got into cycling, because obviously I know that you came into it a bit later on
Yeah.
in your sporting
Yeah.
journey.
Absolutely.
So what made you jump on two wheels?
So I was commuting to work on a bike.
Yeah.
In London when I lived there.
Mm.
And I've always wondered what it was like to actually just go further than just commuting.
Yeah.
And then my bike got stolen. And then I stopped cycling.
Oh no.
And then a guy that I knew, a good friend of mine, called Dondo.
Oh.
I think you might know him too.
The pro. What's the approach? What did he do?
He was like, "Oh, are you getting a bike?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm getting a new bike. It's just a eBay specialised £200 bike." And so he invited me to this group ride.
That's right.
And so I was invited to this group ride at Via in London, a concept store that's just opened up. It's now like a full bike shop.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then I just met all these different cyclists and discovered this really nice community. And first of all, I was a little bit shocked because there was so many bikes all at once, and like everyone was just kitted out with the best bikes. It was literally like a fashion show, like Lycra Bonanza type of situation. And so I decided to sell my Specialized and get a carbon road bike. Wow! And then I got all the kit, and I was like, yes, this is it. Like, there's no going back now.
Oh wow.
And then since then, I've just been like pushing myself to further limits of racing and cycling.
Oh.
Like circuits, cycling with friends and different countries.
Wow.
So it's been an amazing experience.
Oh, and I'm so glad, turning up somewhere where there were all these lovely bikes and people kitted out in Lycra didn't put you off. Because a lot of people, sometimes it can be a bit daunting, I imagine.
Yes, it is. It is quite daunting because you just think you've got to keep up with the Joneses, and then you've got to, you've got to have all this kit, but actually, you just need legs.
That's it.
You just need to have good vibes and good legs, and you'll have a good time either way. But I do like to, I am into cycling fashion, and I am into the brands as well, because it does make a difference when you've got a nice pair of bib shorts or nice, good equipment.
No, I completely understand that, and I think as well, once you start cycling, you begin to collect.
That's it. You do.
Easily done.
Yeah, you tend to pile up a load of equipment, half the stuff you probably didn't need, but you're there, so thank you.
Okay, so you went along to this group session.
Yeah.
And you met other cyclists, which is really, really good as well.
Yeah.
Is that sort of the first time you've done group riding? Because I think you said you came from commuting as well, and then.
Yeah, absolutely. Group riding is very new, and I just don't really have an idea of like what kind of proximity you're supposed to be in with, what the signalling and like the road rules of a cyclist. Obviously, I knew that you had to signal and stuff if you're going left or right. But that was about it. So, yeah, it was all very new to me, but it helped me a lot with the group riding.
Oh, awesome. And that's quite lovely as well that you got introduced to really what is the community of cycling so early on. Because I think for me, that made it, after learning how to ride a bike and then suddenly finding out that there were so many other people out there.
Yeah.
It's just a lovely feeling.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like, there's so many aspects of what riding a bike could be. It can be, a sport, which I've embraced that, and as well as just a bike ride with friends. Yeah. And then, or it could be like a solo, bike trip somewhere. Each to their own has a totally different experience. So, yeah, but definitely I've embraced the community side of it because, sometimes on the winter days, you don't want to ride a bike by yourself. It's actually quite demotivating and boring. So,
no, definitely. But when someone calls you up and sort of says, "Come for a ride,"
exactly. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have like a group of women up here in Derby that really love riding their bikes and will go out rain or sunshine, and so it's really helped me to be motivated.
Obviously, we talked about bikes just then.
Yeah.
So you said you started off with a specialised bike.
Yeah.
And you quickly upgraded to another one. Like, I just want to talk about that experience of sort of buying a bike, because I remember when I went to the bike shop.
Yeah.
Obviously, I learned how to ride on a Brompton, and then I got a road bike. Yeah. And I remember getting to the shop and, bless them, they were great, but they were like sort of chucking out all these words to me, and bike names, the group sets, and derailleurs, and I just remember being so overwhelmed by it all.
It's an overwhelming experience, and I believe, like, there is. I believe that it's important to actually have a beginner's bike. Now I'm on something a bit more like advanced now, but like, there's no way that I could have had this bike when I first got it because I just wouldn't know how to use it properly. So like, the bike experience was good because although I was, £200 might seem a lot to people with a bike, but actually, like, when you invest in a carbon road bike, it's so worth the money. But yeah, it can be an overwhelming experience. But it's important that you get the right people that guide you. Yeah. And the fit. Most importantly, I would really emphasise on the fit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You're getting that bike fit, you mean? Just making sure it's the right bike for you.
Definitely, like, getting your position right. Because over the years, your position changes. So right now, my position is much more lower, more aero than it used to be. So it all depends on, over time.
And it's the little things that count as well, because I remember, like, not mentioning any brand names, but I looked at a bike and it was, helped in terms of getting more women involved, I think, just because of one of the things, it had a slightly slanted top tube, just made it easier to get over on the bike. And it's just small things, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, geometry is everything. And like, I've had to get a female saddle because, like, the saddle that I had before was quite aggressive, a bit more sort of male. So it's it definitely helps, the geometry.
And people always say, how many bikes have you got? I'm like, I always say to my friends, because I've got a lot of non-cycling friends, because I came into this quite late, I always say to them, it's like handbags, If you go to a party, you can take the same handbag, would you? They all do different things.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, they do.
So,
I mean, a lot of my friends have got more than one bike, and they go all out.
Thank you.
So yeah, there is a lot of pressure to, have all these different bikes.
Yeah.
And I suppose like having a nice bike in the winter, if you ride outside a lot, then you don't want to get that damaged. And I used to feel like there was no difference between the winter and the summer bike, but now I really do.
Yeah, you see it, don't you?
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, I guess there'll be some reservations about putting on mud guards on your summer bike.
Yes, exactly. I'm not sure this V4RS would look quite good with ugly mud guards, but it's all right.
Yeah, no,
might get some nice white ones, some like pink ones or something.
Yeah. And that just brings me to say, absolutely loving this new bike you've got here.
Yeah, no, it's
so well suited to you, honestly. I love it.
Thank you.
So, brilliant.
Yeah, no, I'm really, really pleased with it. I mean, I haven't raced on it, which I'm quite nervous about, to be fair. Like, it's a bit nerve-wracking racing on something like this, but I don't know, the pros do it, so it's all right.
I know you did cycling. You were a runner, right? At the beginning?
Yes,
Excellent.
so
And
a bit of Muay Thai as well.
Okay.
A bit of running.
Yeah.
So I've always ran for fitness. I started taking it up more, not serious, but like just pushing further limits.
Yeah. And you weren't just like a park runner, were you? Like 5K around the block.
No, I only did one I only did one park run in my life.
Okay. But you used to do like ultra distances, is that right? Running?
Yeah, I've done an ultra distance run, just one though.
Okay.
I used to really want to be an ultra distance runner.
Yeah.
But I just did it for the experience. I didn't really feel like I had it in me to go all the way to ultra distance, but I have a lot of friends that were inspiring me at the time.
Yeah.
So I kept it to mid-distance, so
Mid-distance, okay.
half marathons. So was just trying to do more PBs in those half marathons. I really liked the trail running sports heaps as well that were Savage were doing at the time, and I just loved doing off-road running.
And the mid-distance, I mean, how many kilometres, miles are we talking about?
So it's usually kilometres, about 21, 13 miles, half marathon. But I was training probably in running, I'd say 8 hours a week, something like that.
Yeah. And how do you feel that's helped you, like having a background of that inside for your cycling?
It's definitely helped with my endurance. I wouldn't say like I'm a big endurance cyclist. I know a lot of people that do a lot more, but it's helped me more mentally.
Yeah.
Especially like getting through like difficult things, pushing your body when you don't want to. Just knowing that, sometimes the pain is only temporary. You actually could achieve something if you just push that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely helped more mentally, physically as well.
That's good. And in terms of the training as well, because a lot of people say, cycling, the strong core is just really helpful in terms of balance, coordination, everything in between. So I imagine that's also put you in good stead as well.
Yeah, definitely, especially core strength training. I mean, I train a lot on my core anyway because I go to the gym sometimes.
Okay.
So I try and make that a priority. I guess like with core training and things like that. Definitely helps with the hill climbing.
Oh yes, definitely.
It just feels so like, oh, I can't do it, and then
there's that extra push.
And it definitely does help.
This kind of feels like Richmond Park.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think it's a little bit older than Richmond, but it's so nice.
Oh wow, lovely. So we're now in Keddleston Hall. It's looking very, very pretty. Some lovely trees and great outdoors. Definitely getting the Richmond Park feel.
Yes, it is. Very Richmond Park. There's actually a cafe in here, you know.
Well, this bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It feels like a great place for laps.
Yes. No one does any laps here. I don't know why. Like, it's such a cool place to do efforts.
Less cars.
I
Did you
know.
get deer in here and things like that?
Pardon?
Do you get deer? You know, like in
Yes.
Richmond.
There are some deers around.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one of the disciplines that you got into is racing, isn't it? So
Yes.
you've done the road racing.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? What? Because obviously there's quite a few disciplines.
Yeah.
So you went from doing a bit of group riding
Yeah.
to suddenly hitting the crit.
Yeah.
Did a crit race.
Yes.
So what made you put a number on your back, I guess?
So I went to a training camp in Spain, and I saw a lot of professional riders there,
Yeah.
and I didn't know like who they were, and I didn't know anything about racing,
Yeah.
but I was around a lot of people that were racing.
Yeah.
They've encouraged me to do it, so I just thought, why not, you know?
Yeah, it could be.
So I started, I did one crit race near me in April,
Wow.
and then from there it's just kind of been, it's like,
Giving it a go, yeah.
yeah, it's been good.
And how was that feeling the first time you put a number on your back and you got to the start line?
To be honest, I wasn't nervous at all
Oh, good.
because I had no expectations of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really understand much of the point system. I literally just went in there and just said, I'm going to do a crit race. Like, and yeah, I managed to, you know, get fourth on my first road and crit race. And that was a great experience.
Mm.
And then from there, it just kind of went on.
Nice. Just to give some context about crit race, is it how many laps or time? Is there?
So it's usually an hour
Yeah.
to 50 minutes to 1 hour racing
Oh, lovely.
at full gas. So
Yeah.
it's really good because I'm quite good at explosive tempo riding. So it really suited me.
Mm.
And generally I just like to compete in sport. I think it's like nice to have a challenge for yourself
Mm.
and just see where you're going to get to.
And I remember having a go at crit racing and just
Yes.
having, again, that 50 minutes just following one wheel.
Can be quite overwhelming.
It
can't it?
is.
Yeah.
It is. And I remember even after the race, that's all I could think about was that one wheel.
Yeah.
Your season been? So how many sort of seasons have you done racing?
It's my second season
Second
now.
season, okay.
And it's good, you know.
Yeah.
Managed to get a few podiums.
Nice,
In
nice.
like 1 month.
Yeah.
I got my first win in July.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's amazing.
it's good.
So
you know.
talk me through that one. Talk me through the ending. Did you know you're going to take victory, or was it a
No,
close shave?
I didn't know. I didn't actually expect anything. Okay, so the story
That
was
was okay.
I turned up to the crit race in Leeds
Okay.
1 day early. I was like, I got there and I was like, I don't see any bikes.
Oh my
I don't see anyone here. And
Okay, so paint a picture for me. So you had your nutrition in the morning.
had everything prepped.
Everything.
Everything was ready.
Yeah.
Skin suit, brand new skin suit ready. Nutrition, porridge, everything. Coffee.
Right. Okay.
Plus traveling for 2 hours to get there.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I got there and then like no one was there, and I checked the date and I was like, oh gosh, like I'm actually a day early.
You're like, not today.
So I was pretty like exhausted and angry at myself
Okay.
for that.
Did
Yeah.
you do some laps anyway? What was the deal? You just
No.
went, okay.
Do you know what? Like I've thought about it. I've thought about doing the the recce.
Yeah.
I thought, no, I did it last year. I did the same race last year. And actually came, like it was my first road race.
Yeah.
But I actually came last.
Okay.
So I was a bit like disappointed about it. So I was really determined.
Yeah.
A bit too determined. And then, so I actually decided to go there on the second day because I thought, you know what, there's nothing for me. I mean, I paid for this race. It's 2 hours of my time. Might as well give it a crack, you know. So I decided to go there again, and then just give it a whirl, really.
Morning.
Hi, morning.
Oh, brilliant.
So during the race, it was good. It was more of it was quite easy race, to be fair.
Okay.
I didn't find it that difficult. There was no hills, but there was a lot of girls, and it wasn't a closed road race.
Okay.
So
okay.
It was quite challenging at some points. But towards the end, I kind of got to a good position.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, nobody was like breaking away. I tried to break away a few times, but I wasn't really sure if I could hold off the breakaway without no heels. So decided to just stay in the bunch, get in a good position towards the end. And it was a bunch sprint, and managed to get first.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent result. I'm just going to come behind you. That's an amazing victory as well, because like you said, you'd been there before.
Yeah.
And, you know, you'd come last, but you went back and you absolutely, like, conquered it. So, oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it was nice. They actually said when they gave me my trophy, Olivia was here yesterday.
So what do you feel like you've learned through, like, your racing sort of 2 seasons, from the first to the second? Do you feel you took away quite a lot from the first?
Yes.
To get you prepped and stuff,
Yeah, I think the most important thing is you spend time on the bike.
Okay.
Following a plan.
Yeah.
Planning the races.
When you say planning the races, do you mean like spreading them out as well in terms of which ones you're going to do?
Yeah. It's planning on the calendar.
Yep.
So that really makes a difference to what you train in.
Yeah.
Before I was just making mistakes, like just deciding just to go to races and when I felt like it, and that was just the wrong thing to do. I mean, I've done like a couple of national races, and it was my first taste of a national race.
Wow.
That you can just see the difference between that and a standard regional race.
Yeah.
Like the how do you say? Definitely the bar is a lot higher.
Yeah.
And it's very intense.
So is that still Cat 3, Cat 4? Is that still?
Yeah. So
national level slightly different.
National can be E1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So sometimes E1, 2, 3.
Okay.
There are like national A's that are usually, well, sometimes they have open to all categories, but some are E1, 2s only.
Okay.
So it just depends.
Okay.
Now I'm a Cat 2. I can do the bigger races.
Oh, come on. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's just hold there for a second. Cat 2, that's incredible. Well done.
Yeah.
2 seasons, wow.
It's good because, you know, the next stage would be maintaining the Cat 2.
Okay.
And then, because it's quite a big jump from Cat 2 to 1. It's 200 points you've got to
Whoa.
reach. So it's only about 40 points you need to reach from Cat 3 to 4.
Right.
Cat 3. I mean, the road race that I won, it was like, it got me about 25 points.
Wow.
So that was good.
Yeah.
And then, it was. And then after that, I did one at Darlingmore. And then that Darlingmore got me that extra.
Bit.
So, but you've got to maintain your Cat 2 at 25 points per year.
Wow.
So it is quite hard to, I think it's quite hard. You've got to race a lot.
Yeah, to keep it. So next season when you come in, do you start at Cat 2? You start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I don't do any maintenance. If I don't get those 25 points, I get brought down to cat 3.
Right, okay. So on that note, well done for getting to cat 2. And yeah, let's have a break. So we're just headed into a nice little pub here.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Sorry, Mo.
Oh, so sitting out here in the pub after a lovely ride to Keddleston Hall.
Keddleston Hall.
Keddleston Hall. That was really nice. And I saw a sign. It was like, when we were coming back in, it was like, welcome to Derby. So I feel like I've done a bit Derby today.
Yes.
A bit of
Have a little touch of the Derbyshire Dales. It's been nice, yeah.
Oh, no, it's been really lovely. And also found out, obviously, you're telling me about how you got into cycling and then now racing.
Yeah.
And now a cat too. Absolutely love all this. I just absolutely love your sort of journey. And how long has that been like that? This whole period since sort of getting into cycling to now. How long was that?
It's been 2 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. So I've actually really committed to it.
Yeah.
I've thrown myself into a hobby like that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty, just embracing all of it that comes with it. So.
So good. Have you been able to bring across some of your running friends? Yeah, have you been able to convince some of them?
I'm trying. I mean, I think there's still I'm in about it.
Yeah. It's a big job. I think you just need to get them on the bike. That's what I find, isn't it? And then the rest will just look after itself, isn't it?
That's it. Like,
Try.
There's no going back after you've already tried it. Yeah.
But we're just talking about other disciplines as well, isn't it? Because obviously there's so many in cycling, and I feel like, for me personally anyway, I just love them all, which has also led to me spending my whole summer just watching sport and falling absolutely in love with it. So have you thought of doing any other disciplines, or you talked about track earlier, didn't you?
So I've had a taster session on the track, and I've got a couple of friends that race on the track, so they'll be going into track league in a couple of weeks, and I don't think I'm ready yet for racing on the track, but probably around January I will be racing.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
I instantly loved it because it's just I think it just really suits me with being a natural sprinter, and I think it will be really fun actually to just do something different indoors, and it would it has this transferable skills for crit racing as well, so and be able to maintain and hold power for a long time, so that's really good for road racing as well. So.
And there's so many games and stuff, aren't there, on the track? I don't know if you're following them. There's like, well, I call them games, but they're like different activities. Let's call them activities. But all the sprint labs, the Kieran, the motorbike and all that stuff. So there's lots to.
There is so much to get stuck into. I haven't actually got there yet. But I have seen it. So I'm looking forward to entering that territory. So, and then obviously getting a track bike, which is probably another ball ache for everyone in the house. But maybe going into that as second discipline.
Oh, awesome! Yeah. Talk about a little bit about off-road as well, because that's really good, I find.
Yeah.
And again, we're talking more. You sort of mentioned about transferable skills. Yeah. I mean, I'm starting to do a bit of off-road, and I find it really helps in terms of just bike handling skills. It just makes such a difference.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite inspired to get into mountain bike riding as well. I've done a couple of mountain bike rides in the past, and I've really enjoyed it. Yeah. So, I've got a couple of people that I know who do it professionally, and I'm quite interested to trying that as well. Oh, yeah. So maybe start off on the baby trails.
Yeah, no, do honestly. I mean, I think
I'm downhill at the moment, so don't want to be breaking my arm anytime soon. So, so it's another territory to enter.
Yeah, definitely, and definitely start small. So I remember I did it in when I first had my off-road experience was in Ghana, and we went on a easier trail. And one of the things is, my first thing was like, oh, you know, obstruction, hole, all this sort of stuff. And they were a bit like, no, let's stop. We're not on the road anymore. It's likely going to change this up. And, you know, it's really funny. But, but there's lots to experience. And
I went on a mountain e-bike in France last year. And that was an experience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a really good experience. Yeah.
And what about the e-bikes? That's interesting. So how is that? Was it one of those where you could sort of just sort of click in the electricity when you need it, or was it?
Yeah, like you can go pretty fast.
Okay.
But you know, you can still do. It still requires a lot of effort and handling. But I really did enjoy that actually.
Nice.
And it's actually a sport by itself. Mountain bike riding. It's actually a sport.
Okay.
So I found that quite fun actually.
Yeah.
Obviously the climbing part was a bit difficult. Because like although you have to hit full gas, it's actually hard to really control.
Yeah.
It's feels like you're riding a motorbike a bit.
You're like, you're like, oh no,
yeah,
I have to get around that course. So just talking about sort of cycling on a whole, like in terms of like well-being and stuff, do you feel like it's just helped in terms of just, I don't know, just your day-to-day, like?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, just to go out on a bike ride at the end of the day, end of your working day makes such a difference. Sometimes, even though sometimes I've got efforts to do, if I feel like I just need to go on my bike and ride my bike, I'll skip the efforts and just go on the ride and just enjoy it. So it does help with like getting headspace and clearing the mind. That's how that's what I do to de-stress.
And also, you know, I found as well, in terms of life skills as well, because it just sort of teaches you that you can do hard things, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can go through so many emotions on a bike ride.
Absolutely.
You can just go through, I mean, you know, you can start off like thinking about something and then something else will go through your mind. You know, if you're going up a climb, you have to remember, like, you know, give yourself that pep talk, you can do it. And it can take you through a journey of thoughts going on a bike ride. So
and it's so interesting you say that, because I remember like one of the first rides I did was like an overnight ride from Bath to Exmouth, and honestly I always say, and I wrote about it on my Instagram, I was like, I was not the same girl I was when I got to Exmouth. I feel like I'd worked through so many things in my head.
I'm going through a life transition.
Honestly, I got to Exmouth on the beach in the morning as you do, and I just remember thinking, wow, I just needed that. I needed it, just in my thoughts, just sorting things out, and I love the fact that the bike does that. So
doing hard things, like not just a bike, like, but when I did my ultra marathon, like it was so hard and I was hurting a lot, but I was going through a lot of emotions at that time and working through a lot of things in my mind. And I wasn't the same, I didn't feel like I was the same girl when I finished it either. So it's like sport does that to you. Like it can definitely tell you about yourself.
Exactly.
So,
a free therapy session.
It is. Yeah.
Oh no, that's amazing. In terms of like any sort of memorable rides that you've done, like since you started, is there any ones which like really stick out in your mind, like as maybe a turning point in your journey? Or
I'd like to say I've done extreme things on the bike, but I haven't. I've just been really consistent with my riding. I really enjoyed my training camps in Spain. I've really enjoyed those, and just really enjoyed like being on the bike.
Yeah.
So nothing that significant, I guess.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's saying that you just said that, just being on the bike,
Yeah.
and and I think
I've been through like hard races. I've seen the difference with, I think, a recent road race I did recently, and it's taught me that I have improved a lot with my racing.
Yeah.
So that was quite significant to me. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So,
And how do you deal with, because obviously we know road racing and stuff, the other side of it is you may crash sometimes. And how do you deal with that? Like in terms of like, I don't know, like getting back on the bike. How's that been? Is that?
yeah. I mean, I have crashed once in a race last year.
Yeah.
And because a lot of adrenaline rushes going through you, and I did actually crash on my own, so I didn't crash into anyone.
Yeah.
So I was quite lucky.
Yeah.
So I did actually get back on the bike, and then the paramedic came up to me and he was like, 31, are you okay to continue? And I said,
God.
yeah, I'm going. I'll get back on my bike and go. So I did. Literally went.
Wow.
And then it was a really intense moment. It really was so intense. And the rain was pouring and people were cheering. It was a big event.
Yeah.
So
adrenaline is definitely one of those. It's definitely. Yeah. I remember my first crash actually. Well, I was just on a ride with a couple of friends, and it was actually on my new bike as well. And I crashed, and I was like bleeding. But this is what they tell me anyway. What happened was I sort of got up and I was like, "Where's my bike? Where's my bike? Take the bike." And I was like, "I'm all good." And they're like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, That's
you're bleeding. You're right.
Yeah.
It's fine. The bike's fine.
I know.
We're good. But then we just continued, and I think I did an extra 20 miles or something. But yeah, you're right.
It's incredible what your body can do. Like when you got your adrenaline rushing through you, and then it tends to hurt like the next day, and then even worse the day after. But I think seeing people crash as well, like it's not a nice thing. I've been fortunate not to crash into anyone during a race, which is nice because my last road race, somebody crashed in front of me, and I've been in front of many crashes. Yeah. But luckily, not got caught in it. Yeah. So, like touch wood, it's just I've been quite fortunate.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even mind like losing a race, and not being in like a good position, top 10 or something position. I just rather not risk it if there's going to be a crash.
Yeah, so. No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. It's not about hitting the deck, and it's not about destroying this lovely bike that we're sitting next to. So, but yes,
exactly.
But as cyclists do, we sort of once the injuries are worn off,
just get back on the bike.
Back on the bike, and again, what a life lesson. You get knocked down, but you get up again. Oh, absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So in terms of kind of what you'd say to like a new cyclist starting out, is there any sort of like advice you could give, like in terms of kind of how to get into it and kind of mindset?
A mindset. So probably equipment wise, the bike, the fit, and then having an idea what to do in terms of if there's an emergency. Know how to kind of know what to bring with you on a ride, or your equipment in case you have puncture and things like that. So being quite self-equipped is important. I think definitely knowing how to like hold yourself on the bike like definitely helps with like signaling and stuff like that, and being safe, self-awareness around you. Would be finding a good club to be around. I think definitely like going back to community. It really helps having people to ride with. That definitely helps you. And motivates you. I would say mindset. Don't get down about compare yourself to other people, because like I think the comparison is like the thief of joy, and I think it's important that you just focus on your own journey. So I'm around a lot of people that are so much better than me, but I don't really get down about it because I'm on my own journey, and they still like me the same whether I'm a better cyclist or a worse cyclist than them. So it's sometimes it's just all in the mind.
And you mentioned it earlier, isn't it? It's just love what you do, isn't it? Like, if you're going out on a ride, maybe one day you just need to just ride. Don't worry about the efforts or
sometimes I just ride. I don't worry about trying to break PRs or anything like that. I just focus on riding and just taking it all in.
Awesome. Oh, Olivia, I'm just so grateful that you've sat down with us. Well, we've gone on a ride today and then had a little sit down.
Really nice.
But it's been really lovely, and it's been amazing just to hear about your journey. Obviously, like we said, you came from sort of running background. Yeah. You got into cycling, you caught the bug for it, you went on to start racing.
Yeah.
Cat 2, awesome. And you're still, pushing and also thinking about entering different disciplines. It's just, it's incredible, honestly.
It is. No, it is really good because, when I moved to Derby from London, I didn't know what I would do. I didn't know it was a whole new town. Obviously, there's a lot more things to do in London, but I didn't know anybody, didn't know what to do in terms of sport. I was still trying to find my sport because I knew that I've grown out of running. And then I found the bike and I thought, this is it. Like, I found it.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, well, thank you. Thanks for speaking to us. And, you're a real example of, someone who just got out there, gone on their own little journey in terms of cycling and you really are the example of the cyclist next door. Amazing journey. So keep going. And I imagine we're going to be sitting here very soon talking about Cat 1.
We hope
keep
so.
Keep rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me on this episode of Cyclist Next Door. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and if so, please like, subscribe and share. Let's grow this community. And join me back here again as we meet the next cyclist next door, as we unpack the journey of everyday people who have picked up a bike, experienced the joy of cycling, and have been on their own personal adventures. So, until next time, rolling.